Hey y'all, it's Sam with Number One with a Bullet. I'm finally back with another plan with me. It's been a long time. I've gone from bullet journaling to a Jibun Techo, and now I'm in a Hobonichi cousin. And now for this month, it's out with the old as I clean out my old Hobonichi and get my new one ready. Here's a quick tip. Use Post-it note or Avery sticky tabs to differentiate the different sections of your planners. They don't have to go along the edge, you can put them along the top. That way they'll be an easy reference for the different parts of your planner so that you can flip quickly back and forth and see what you need to see when you need to see it. Alright, let's get started with the yearly index. I use this section as a habit tracker, and so I'll use different colors to track different things. And so here I'm just putting down those different colors. A lot of people complain about the little dot at the end of the highlighter. I hate it too. Usually what I do is just go ahead and make it more prominent and just use it as sort of like a design feature. Hey, here's this brightly colored little dotted end to this line of highlighter. Don't always do it, but I like to do it here in the monthly index. Another thing I use this section for is a writing tracker. I'm going to put a horizontal and vertical axis. I use it like a line graph tracker. The days that I write, I'll put a dot, and then I will connect all the dots, and at the end of the month I'll write down how much I wrote. For you ladies out there, I also use the little dates on the side as a sort of impromptu period tracker. Alright, and now we're on to the monthlies. This is where I really start to get decorating. I love using washi to help decorate my monthlies and my weeklies. I probably love washi a little bit too much, if we're being honest. I have so much of it and nowhere to really store it, but I still love it a whole lot. So here I'm just putting down some washis that fit my theme for this month. This month's theme was sort of polar and space and snow and aurora borealis, and so I'm starting with the constellation washi that I have that I love and layering some other washi on top of it. I really love this metallic rose gold washi. It just really completes any look. It's super thin and so it can go places, and it's just that little bit of metallic pop that helps make other washis look really pretty. Another tip I have is if you have some cheaper washis that are kind of thin, layering them sometimes helps make them more vibrant, especially if you layer them over top of a really vibrant washi. Another trick though is if your washi is too thin and it's showing too much of the washi that's behind it through it, then you can put some on a piece of paper and cut out around them, and then use a glue dot liner to stick that piece of paper back down where you want it, and it will help make the washi look a little bit more vibrant. As you can see, this whale washi wasn't quite vibrant enough, and so I'm sticking it just on a piece of plain computer paper. I'll then cut it out around it and then cut it to size and put it back down with my glue dot liner. And it's just the perfect solution so that it's real good and vibrant, because it's a beautiful tape and I love it. It just doesn't always layer well. If you're wondering, I'm using an Olfa top sheet cutter to cut my washi. It's a little hit or miss depending on the kind of washi you have. If you have that really thick kind of plasticky washi, sometimes you have to set it really high. And if it's really thin, sometimes I have cut through the washi and through to my paper, just by not choosing the correct setting. But basically what the top sheet cutter does is it allows you to cut just the thing that's on top instead of cutting down into anything else. Alright, now I'm adding some Happy Planner stickers. They are the perfect size for the Hobonichi cousin in a lot of ways. They fit in many different spaces. Even the big boxes fit over in the columns more often than not, and even then with a little bit of trimming you can usually get them to fit, but I rarely ever have to trim them. So here's a close-up. I used some metallic Happy Planner New Year's Eve and New Year's Day date stickers. I used the Remember and the snowflakes from the Squad Goals pack. And then here is the bottom corner. I always like to cover up the days that are not actually dates of the month and not plan anything on them, because I just do that on the next month. Alright, now let's move on to the weeklies. I love the weeklies. I live in my weeklies. I use them for basically everything. This is where the bulk of my planning will go. I use my monthly more as sort of like a repository of stuff that did happen, just so I can look back and say, hey, I did this on this day, I did this on this day, and kind of keep track that way. My weeklies are more for running to-do lists, so that I can get really down in the nitty-gritty of everything that I need to do to know what to do for that month. So here I'm just putting down some washi. I'm actually separating the top and the bottom of the columns so that I can put my line graph tracker down on the bottom. It's a line graph tracker I designed and created. It takes up a very small footprint, but I'm able to track a whole lot of different things. I actually track medical things on this so that I can see from day to day the changes in them. If you'd like more information about this line graph tracker that I'm getting ready to make, I'll leave a link in the card above, and you can go over to my blog and read all about it. Here you can see a little bit of my color coding that I use for different dates and different things. I'm also adding some stickers. Sometimes I go through and add stickers ahead of time. Other times I will just go back after the fact and put in stickers in empty spaces. Alright, now I'm working on the line graph tracker. I'm adding the different data points for the first 3 days. I think I was working on this on the 2nd or 3rd of the month, and so I'm filling in all the data points for those days. I keep this very loose. I don't closely follow it. It's just sort of a more general idea, but it does yield a whole lot of really interesting data, and over the time that I've been using it, I've been able to see trends and sort of different things and how it all connects with my health. So it's been really helpful, and if you are interested in that, definitely go check it out on my blog, because I've written up a whole post about how I made it, why I made it, how it works, how it could be useful for you, things like that. Alright, here now I'm adding the weather to the top. I try to maximize every inch of space in my weeklies because I use them so much and I love them. So I put the projected highs and lows at the top. This helps for different things. We have a farm, and so it helps me know when we need to go out and do stuff, when the weather's going to be good. And so that's what I'm doing there. I also color code those, and in a minute I'll show you how I made my key so that you can see sort of how I would do a temperature color coding. The next few minutes are going to be just me decorating my next few weeks. I'm not going to do everything to them that I did to the first one, because for the video I think that would get repetitive and boring, and so I'm just going to show you sort of me decorating them and the washis I chose and kind of how they fit my theme of the month. Now for my dailies, you will probably never get to see my individual dailies. I journal in them, and so I don't want anyone seeing sort of what I'm journaling about. It's very personal. But what I will always show is my monthly cover page. That page that it used to be lined and you could write things on it, and now they've started making it blank and it's at the beginning of every month in the cousin. I use that as sort of a monthly cover page so that I can sort of decorate it. I never really knew what to do with it. One month I tried to put some sticky notes in it and kind of write some inspiring words. A few other months I tried to do sort of like a big to-dos, but I kind of do that over in my monthly. I put my big like goals, 2 or 3 goals for the month to-do list, and so I really wasn't sure what to do with that page. My plan that I have for this year, I don't know how it'll always work out, is to pick different art to do for each month. And so this month I chose to do a little celebratory Year of the Boar art with one of my characters from my writing that I do in my spare time. And so that I'm going to show you sort of the finished product on that, and then how I put it in my planner and where I put it. And if you'd like to see the full making of how I made this piece of art, then you can head over to my art channel. I'll link it up in the card above if I can figure out how to do that, and you will be able to go over to my art channel and watch a full video showing exactly how I made this piece of art to go in my Hobonichi. there it is, all finished and put in my planner. Happy 2019, y'all, and happy year of the boar. All right, for January, we've got a little bit of extra content here at the end. Usually I would end on my monthly cover page, but I've got a little bit of extra things to talk to you about. Here I am making my color key for this year. I always try to make a color key just so I can keep it straight in my head, because I use different colors for different sections and different things. And so really what I'm setting up here is my color key that winds up being in my weeklies and kind of in monthlies in different places throughout. I actually didn't add my yearly index color key here, and I'm not sure why. But this sort of shows you how I make my key, and then what I do with it. I just sort of stick it in the front flap of my clear cover that I have for my Hobonichi, just so I can reference it when I need to. Also on the right hand side, you'll see my temperature scale. I just sort of followed a rainbow color order and then assign different temperatures to it. If you Google temperature color scale, you'll probably find some pretty good ideas for how to make one. But I just made my own, and those are the colors of my markers that I use to differentiate different temperatures. And then another thing I do on my yearly index is take each day's high and low, average them, and then do an average temperature in the bottom of the monthly index. So here's the color key. You get a real slow-mo close-up look of it. And hopefully that gives you ideas for how to make one of your own. Now, one last thing, I'm going to stick that in, and then we're going to do a really quick flip through of everything that I just did, giving lots of good close-ups so that you can see exactly what I did and how. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found something that will inspire you. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please check down in the description below for all my other social medias, along with my website where I do extra content, and you might get some ideas there. But for the month of January and my plan with me, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe. I plan to post one every month. And until then, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a great 2019, and I'll see y'all later. Bye! Sorry guys, I was totally channeling Christine from Simply Not Logical with that. Oops.